Ciao and welcome to this channel. My name is Gianni and this is going to be my first video talking about photography. It's not my first video in general, but I want to start a new journey this year on YouTube talking about photography. And if you're here, you're probably wondering, should I still get the Ricoh GR III or the Ricoh GR IIIx? Well, we're going to find it out. That's what I'm going to tell you, but the short answer is definitely yes, go for it. If you want to know something more about it, I will tell you my opinions and what are the pros and what are the cons, because of course it's not a perfect camera, but let's face it, there is no perfect camera in the world, but maybe it might be the perfect camera for you. Of course I have other cameras, but these two are those that I use the most, and if I had to choose just one for the rest of my life, it would be one of these. I still don't know which one, but it would definitely be one of these two. First of all, let's face it, there is no other camera like this one or this one, because it gets compared to other cameras like, I don't know, a Fujifilm or some Micro Four Thirds or some other compact cameras like maybe the Sony RX100, some EOS M, which are all great alternatives. But these two, they are unique in their own way, because like, let's say the most famous one, the Fujifilm X100 series. They are so much bigger than this, because this is the only one that is really pocketable and it has a big sensor inside, an APS-C sensor. That's already the first reason why you should get this one. But I don't want to go ahead, you know, let's talk about the cons first, because I think that's how life should be, you know, even in relationship. We shouldn't go out and just pretend we are somebody we're not, and that's the same with cameras, you know, because as I said, they have some cons. Like the first one for me about the Ricoh GR is definitely the battery. Okay, this is probably the camera that has probably the shortest battery life of all the cameras I have, you know. Of course there is a solution, because see, the battery is so small and you can just take some others with you, you know. Fit it in your jeans or your bag, wherever, and you can go all day long, but approximately you will get like 150-200 shots each day. So it's not a deal breaker, but that's what I really would change about this camera, you know. The other cons, I mean, I hadn't had these problems, but people are reporting them. So they say that, for example, you can easily get some dust into the sensors, because, you know, when the camera opens up, it gets out like this. When you turn it off, it will get inside, and apparently it will collect some dust with like that. I hadn't had this problem, but to be honest, I use some adapters to get filters on it, so that's also a benefit for that problem, you know, because in that way you wouldn't get dust into the sensor. Some other people report that they are having problem with this wheel right here. Again, two cameras, it's been like a half in a year, never had any problem. So maybe I'm lucky, maybe they fixed something, I don't know. I'm looking at my notes here. So another thing that it might be a deal breaker for you, to me it's not that big of a deal. It has no viewfinder. I mean, you can attach some optical viewfinders, they're really expensive, and it's an optical viewfinder, so you will not get all the information and stuff. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I would like to have it. Doesn't have it, it's okay, but the screen is fixed, you know, you cannot flip it up or anything like that. And especially for me, I'm a tall person, I usually take pictures like this from my waist, you know, so that will be really useful to have a flip screen like this. Doesn't have it, whatever, we can live with it. Another thing that I would really like to have on all my cameras is a flash, you know, because you never know. I mean, I use these cameras also for my normal life, taking pictures of my friends and whenever I go out, and the flash, it's useful sometimes, you know. The solution, you have a solution, you can buy these tiny flashes. This is the Reflex Lab, but there are many other solutions, and it will work. Of course, it's something protruding, so maybe you will not like it, but it's up to you. or get the GR2. It has still the flash. And then the autofocus. I mean, it's not the best autofocus, let's face it. Sometimes at night it tends to hunt a little bit, but it's working. I mean, it's working really well. You know, it's not like bad at all. And it has high end phase detection. Still not the best in class, but it's working. But talking about autofocus, or let's just say focus, there is a little trick in his sleeve. We will talk about later in the pros. And the last thing maybe is this is purely a still camera, you know. So if you want to make videos, this is not for you. It makes videos, but it's just an 80p and the quality, it's so and so. But you can use it. I mean, in emergency you can use it. So now let's talk about the cons. I mean, I've been using, as I said, these cameras for 1.5 and a year, and just for the fact that both of them, the 3 and the IIIx, you can say that I really love them. First of all, as we all know, the size. I mean, this is literally a pocket camera. You can put it in your jeans, in your jacket, wherever, and it will not make any problem, you know. And being so little, so small, you have inside, as I told you before, an APS-C sensor. And this is the only one having this size, having an APS-C sensor inside, you know. Probably there is an old Nikon and old Fujifilms. I haven't had those in my hands, so I don't know how big they are, but they are older and you cannot find them, and if you find them, it's in a used market and they're really expensive. I know this is an expensive camera as well, but it's totally worth it because, as I told you, it's unique in its in everything. I mean, it's the only one you can get like that. Size and sensor, you know, first two big pros. And then there is the lens, which is something that really amazed me, you know, both on the 3 and IIIx, the lenses are amazing. And let's face it, a camera is only as great as the lens you put on it. So the quality of these lenses is phenomenal, you know. It's sharp from corner to corner in the center, and it has a vibe. It has that famous, which I still don't know what is it, but you can feel it if you see it, that 3D pop, that micro contrast, and really the lenses are amazing. I had the Fujifilm X100V before of this, and I didn't like the lens of that one. So you can tell how much I love this one if I just let go the most hyped camera of that period to go on this one. Then of course you have 24 megapixel, which is a lot. Trust me. I mean, I know we have now 33, 40, 60, but let's face it, you can do whatever you want with 24 megapixel. You can crop, you can shoot landscape, you can do everything. I mean, many people still use 10 megapixel cameras and they're getting amazing photos. So I don't know why I should go more than 24. It's already too much. I mean, and let's face it, the more megapixel you have, the more your computer should be powerful. So this is like the sweet spot for me. And then whenever you go on the computer, if you want to do that, the files, the raw files you get from this camera are amazing. You can play with everything so much, you know, the latitude on Lightroom or Capture One, whatever you're using, or Darktable, everything, it's great. You can do whatever you want with these files. You can recover shadows, highlights, the colors, you can play however you like and get everything you want, you know. These are the RAWs, but the JPEG, I mean, maybe of all the cameras I've had, these are the only ones that I could shot JPEG and be fine with it, you know. And you have also simulations in it, you know, your receipt. So you have the classic, you have the positive film, you have the negative film, and some others. And you have also an app which is the GR receipt or something like that, that give you all the simulations and that you can play with if you're into those kind of things. I don't do that because I mean I have some memorizing it, but I prefer to go always by Lightroom because I prefer to tweak photos to my likes, you know. But again, I could totally go just JPEG with these two. Then you have dials for everything. I mean, you have the front dial, the back dial, this other dial, they're small, but they work so much, you know. You have this button here that you can program to whatever you want, menu, ISO, whatever. I mean, you have dials. All the dials you need, they're here. It's not like you missed something, you know. Let me see, what else? Oh, yeah. The snap focus. As you remember, maybe in the cons, I said that the autofocus is not the best, but it's perfectly usable. I mean, it's good. It's not bad. It's good. It's not perfect, you know. But then the trick in its lift. Do you say that? I don't know. As you can see, I'm not an natural English speaker, but you have this function that maybe you know about. It's called snap focus, and it's basically zone focusing, you know. So you set an f value, I don't know, like 5.6, 8, whatever you want. You set a distance, and you will get that the same experience you get with zone focus, you know. So you will have your picture in focus in that range, you know. So here you will see the distance, you know, and you can just use this in that way, and it's great. And the greatest thing of all is that even if you're shooting like with autofocus, you have the possibility to set the camera so that if you just press the shutter button fast enough without waiting for the camera to focus, it will use the zone focus, the snap focus function. And especially if you're doing street photography, this is a great function. Another thing I love is that whenever you set auto ISO, you can also set the minimum shutter speed. Many cameras still don't have that function, and it's so important to me because you don't want to rely too much on auto ISO and then get your pictures blur because the shutter speed was too slow. And then another thing that I really like, you know, because this camera is so stealthy, but what makes it so stealthier is the lift shutter, you know. Basically, whenever you shoot a photo, you will hear nothing. I mean, and it's a proper shutter, so you don't have any problem with bending and stuff like that you get with an electronic shutter. So people will just not hear you taking the picture. And being so small, you can literally go in front of people and just take a picture like that. They will not notice, or even if they do, they will just not care because this looks like a point and shoot. Well, actually, the picture you take with this one, they're professional grade, trust me. Another function I love about this camera is that it has the highlight metering, which still many cameras don't have, which basically will meter your scene on highlights, so you won't get blown out highlights, which are the most difficult thing to recover with digital cameras. And if you like those kind of pictures where you get all the shadows, dark shadows, so moody with all the thing in light, which are really the focus of the picture, this is perfect for you. I used to just use highlight metering and then just dial the exposure composition maybe 0.3 up or 0.7, something like that, to get the results I want, and that's perfect for me. So I know that I don't blow out the highlights, and I can recover all the shadows that I want, you know. And that's what I do with all the cameras that I have that have the highlight metering. Another pros that I really like about this camera is that the handling is amazing. I mean, it's not slippery, you know. It has this grip in front, which is useful, and behind you have this small thumb grip, which works, but if you really want to take it to the next level, just get one of these thumb grips. They're really cheap. I mean, I got this one from AliExpress. It was like, I don't know, €6 maybe, which is like $6. And then it's perfect. I mean, you can do whatever you want with this camera, you know, and it will never fall off. Okay, so the handling is great. I mean, you can go around all day long and you won't feel anything. So this is future me editing the video, and I just found out that I forgot a couple of important things. First one is that the sensor is stabilized, so you can have some pictures with a long shutter speed and you shouldn't worry about it. The second one is the app. The app from Ricoh is just perfect. You can transfer RAW files and JPEG without any problems. The connection is fast, it's reliable, and the app is just so easy, you know, so it's perfect. That's all I need. Now back to past me or present me or whatever it is. And another thing that is great about these cameras is the community. I mean, since I got these cameras, I joined the GR community on Instagram and Reddit and Facebook, and it's great. I mean, I get to know so many people thanks to these cameras, because the community is so active. And Ricoh itself organizes meetings, so you can go to these meetings and get to know other photographers. And I've met so many great artists. Some of them are now my friends. We talk on Instagram about photography and life in general. And Ricoh itself, it's a company that makes all of this possible, you know, because they have these Instagram pages where they put pictures from the people using their cameras. As I said, they're organizing meetings, and I met the Ricoh people. They're lovely. All of them are so lovely, you know. And they also have a GR festival every year where you can send your photos taken with a Ricoh GR. Any GR, I mean, it doesn't have to be the latest one, and they have this festival every year where you can participate without paying any money, which is great, because usually I've seen other many festivals, they ask you money to participate. Well, that is totally free, and if you win, you get exposure on the socials. You will see your photography in an exposition. Like last year, it was in Japan, and maybe this year it will be in Japan and France. And you get also the print. And whenever they do all these things, they try to get as many people as possible. Then they really care about just making the connection. You know, you meet all these people and you get all the feedbacks then online on your photos, and they are also nice people, always trying to encourage you to shoot more. And I mean, it's a great community. I love it. So thanks for that. One last thing. Maybe you're asking yourself, these are quite old. I mean, if I'm not wrong, the GR III came out in 2019, I think. I don't know. So maybe a GR IV is on the way. First of all, Ricoh doesn't work like that. I mean, they put out a camera when they know they have something to put out. It's not like the Russia thing. Like let's face it. Is there any big difference in cameras during the years? I mean, you can shoot a camera from 5 years ago and it's great, even 10 years ago maybe, okay? So they don't try to hype up new cameras, you know? So they have, yeah, this was like 2000 and I think then they get out with the IIIx, I don't remember which year, maybe 21, 22, I don't remember. And then they had also the HDF, which is the one with the black diffusion filter inside, instead of the ND filter. Oh yeah, another big thing, it has an ND, this one, the normal editions, they have an ND filter inside, which are really useful if you want to go outside and take pictures in bright light with a small f value. So, well, whatever. I mean, you might think that the GR IV is on the way, but let's just say you have heard something, let's just say it like that, and I'm pretty confident you can get this one and still use it for a long time, okay? Even if you will see a GR IV in the next months, you can sell these things so easily, you know, because people love them, and they're iconic cameras. So, that's it. That's all I have to say. I mean, I hope I will see you in the future. I hope to make more videos and to get better. Sorry if I wasn't so sure about what I was saying, but this is not scripted. You know, I had my notes, but I wanted to be just natural because that's how I like things to go. I hope to make more videos. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have any questions, just drop a comment and I will answer to every question you have. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is Gianni Wasabi. And see you in the future, I hope. And ciao!